Hello and welcome to another romance seminar. I'm your host Jay Green, and there are no such thing as bad kids. I mean, the other day I was chilling and I was relaxing over my friend's house, and the little kid walked up and said, "Fuck you, mama." Everybody busted out and laughed and said, "Damn, that kid's kind of grown, isn't he?" And I thought about the ignorance of the parents and the people all surrounding me. I was the only one frowning as I listened to this kid retort as if it was an adult with a history of violence in his life. I mean, violence not in the physical sense, but in the mental sense. Violence because the parents are being ignorant to the fact that you're growing a child to be as ignorant as you are. You see, the joke is on them later on in life when the child walks up to them and stabs them with a knife. Knife not in the physical sense, but in the mental sense. You see, because the child's going to go on, smoke that weed, smoke that ounce, and do everything else they wanted to do because the parents wanted to be friends with the kid before it was time. You see, now another situation comes to mind when I think of these kids out there sitting on the corners saying there's no one out there that can love them, that can hold them close and do their thing. I think about those kids and I say those aren't bad kids at all under 18, all minors by the law. There's nothing wrong with those kids. It's just that nobody wanted to hug them tight at night when they came home from school to show those good grades. Mom was getting high on that pipe. Not necessarily weed, but could be tobacco, or just life is running its course and she's still trying to find a boyfriend. Of course, she's throwing her kids off to every man that she can find and saying, "Hey, look, I'm trying to find a happy plan." Here on the internet, you might check out Black Planet and see women posting their family, children for everyone to see. But that's saying that you're putting out there, "Hey, I have kids, I want to let you know that, but meet my kids before you meet me." But I remember as a little boy, my mom had multiple boyfriends, and she made me feel like you couldn't really trust women because at the end of the day, she was out saying that everything was going to be okay with this one man and then the next man, but she was doing it to make sure we had a roof over our heads and we'd be okay. But I was too little to understand the truth of the matter. So I say there is no such thing as mean, bad, or ugly kids. It's just the way that the world perceives them. You see, because kids are sponges, they absorb everything around them. So if they absorb everything around them, then they're just images of the world around them. So again, you have to imagine that there's a bad world where these great kids come up and the world spoils them. Just like it says in Earth, Wind, and Fire, the world makes their heart turn cold. Born with a heart of gold, what are you supposed to do when no one loves you enough? But you know, I blame television just a little bit because you don't have your parents to guide you through what you're seeing as you grow up into this world known as Earth. You know, you see the Huxtables and you compare your life. You say, why can't we sit down and talk about things that's going on in our lives? Why we can't have intercommunication and intracommunication to bring me up to a level that I can enunciate my thoughts and feelings to the world around me? Why am I still treated like a donkey or ass, a personal slave to my family, wash the dishes, do these things, and everybody sits around and does these things? I remember in the Huxtables they explain why everybody does everything so that everybody's a miniature adult as they grow up into things. But in so many families I see that you chastise the child so much that you leave them thinking that they're nothing without you. So then they have this whole codependency habit and they grow into a life where they feel like they need a man to feel whole. They need a woman to live life. Codependency is a dead thing to have in your life. My point in saying all these things, ladies and gentlemen, is to say, examine yourself before you say that's a bad kid. Did you understand where they came from? What horrors they had to endure? I found out just today that 9 out of 10 women have been molested by someone they know, most times out of the family. 9 out of 10 women. So you got a little girl growing up with that hardship. Even beauty could be a curse to a little girl, you see, because she could be out in school learning all the different things, but every Tom, Dick, and Harry little boy, and even the teacher is poking that way at her. "Hey, look at me, I'm trying to get your attention. Hey, look at me," and she loses her dependence on herself and realizes that all I need to do is smile and I can go through life. This is wild. So again, before you say that's a bad child, examine the parenting. Examine the tradition, the history of which this person is coming from. Love is a reflection of the giver. And then you realize that the love you're getting from somebody, or that you're projecting from yourself, is a reflection of how you taught love was from early on in life. Love is us. So if love doesn't match what you want it to be, it's your fault. Accept it and move on. What is it? What is it? Serenity. Grant me with the knowledge and the wisdom for the things that I can change, and the wisdom to know the difference.